1, 2, 3.
Hello, and welcome to this look into the world of music and instruments. In this video, we'll give you an introduction to some of the instruments in your school band. We'll listen to members of the woodwind, brass, and percussion families. And we'll get a chance to meet some of the John Keal music musicians along the way. Each instrument has a unique personality, just like people do, and together they make all kinds of wonderful music. Let's see if you can find a favorite. We'll start with the woodwinds. Alright, let's talk about the flute. The flute is a woodwind instrument. A long time ago, flutes were made of wood, but now they're mostly made of metal. The flute is an important member of the band because it plays the highest notes and often has the melody. Sound is produced on the flute by blowing across the opening on the side of the head joint, much like blowing across the top of a bottle. You can try this at home to see what it's like to play the flute. Now, let's take a look at the flute in action. The clarinet is a member of the woodwind family. It's made of wood or plastic and uses a wooden reed attached to a mouthpiece to make sound. Sound is produced by putting the mouthpiece into your mouth and blowing. The clarinet is very versatile and plays both the melody and the harmony. Clarinets usually make up the biggest section of the band. The clarinet can play high notes and low notes. Let us show you what the clarinet can do. The saxophone is a member of the woodwind family. It's made of metal and uses a wooden reed attached to a mouthpiece to make sound. The player blows through the mouthpiece to produce a tone. The saxophone can be found in both concert and jazz bands. There are several different types of saxophones in band: alto, tenor, bari, and sometimes soprano. Beginners almost always start on the alto saxophone. Would you like to see a saxophone being played? Now it's time to meet the brass family. Let's start with the trumpet. The trumpet is the highest pitched instrument in the brass family and is an important member of the band. Trumpets often have the melody and make a bright, loud sound. Sound is produced by tightening your lips and buzzing into a cup-shaped mouthpiece. You can try this at home by using a paper towel tube. The trumpet you're about to see being played is a professional instrument, but most beginners will start with a yellow brass trumpet. Now we're going to give the trumpet a chance to sing for you. The trombone is a low-pitched member of the brass family. It's made of metal and uses a long slide to make all the different notes. The trombone is one of the instruments that make up the foundation of the band. Trombones often play the harmony and provide the low notes that balance out the rest of the other, higher-sounding instruments. The trombone makes a rich, mellow sound. It's the only instrument that uses a slide and is famous for being able to slide from one note to another without stopping. This is called glissando. Sound is produced by tightening your lips and buzzing into a cup-shaped mouthpiece. You have to see the way it moves. Watch this. The baritone is a low-pitched member of the brass family. It's made of metal and looks like a small tuba. It has 3 or 4 buttons called valves. The baritone is one of the instruments that make up the foundation of the band. Baritones often play the harmony and provide the low notes that balance out the rest of the other, higher-sounding instruments. The baritone makes a rich, mellow sound, much like the trombone, but the baritone uses valves, like a trumpet, instead of a slide. Sound is produced by tightening your lips and buzzing into a cup-shaped mouthpiece. Are you ready to give it a listen? The percussion family includes many different instruments. Most of them are played with drumsticks or mallets. Some of them are played with your hands. The percussion section is a very important part of the band. Drummers keep the beat and help to set the tempo for all other musicians. They can also play the melody with instruments like marimbas and xylophones. Beginners will either start on a snare drum that is part of a drum kit, or with a small set of bells called a bell kit. Let's listen to some percussion instruments. Now you've met some of our friends in the band. Did you find a favorite yet? It can be a hard decision because they're all so cool. The important thing is to just choose an instrument that sounds good to you and give it a try. Before you know it, you'll be part of the band.